Yo, it's your boy Zach, and welcome to today's video. Okay, so much to some people's disgust, I'm working on this thing again. And there's a reason for it, okay? And the reason is because of this package that's laying on the floor. So, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna quickly explain what it is. Okay, so, as I said, I got a package in the mail. And a lot of you guys are probably wondering, like, what's in the package? Well, actually, you guys probably already read the title. I'm doing a torque converter swap on the Predator Go-Kart 2.0. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys are wondering, why are you doing this so soon? You just finished it. Well, I'm gonna tell you, okay? Conveniently, my go-kart has already ruined its $120 centrifugal clutch. So, and it was even rated as a heavy-duty racing go-kart clutch up to 13 horsepower, and I was only pushing 8 horsepower through it. So clearly, a centrifugal clutch is a no-go. So I'm gonna try something else. I'm going to try this torque converter right here. So yeah, let's get to unboxing it. Alrighty, let's open this. Oh, okay. A cover so that I don't kill myself with it. Looks like we have got some parts here that could fall apart if you take them out of the box too fast. Little hardware bag, that's always good. And we got the belt, so that'll be good. Got the back pulley for the torque converter. All right. It's looking, looks pretty good. Ooh, stickers. Can never have enough of those. So, to be specific, this is actually a TAV TAV2 Chinese clone of the Genuine Comet torque converter for a 1-inch output shaft recommended for 2 and 4-stroke engines, not just this Predator. So I've heard that if there's anything that you're ever going to need to replace on a torque converter, it's going to be the belt, which shouldn't be a big deal to replace. So yeah, that'll be helpful. So I just need to make sure that these holes on the torque converter line up accurately with the engine so I can bolt the backing plate up to it. In order for the torque converter to fit, I had to cut part of one of the oil caps off. So, in order to assemble this thing, we've got this little shaft, and we basically need to just, put everything together. Like, basically how it's gonna work is that we got this little sprocket that's gonna go right there, and then we got the pulley, the bigger one right there. It's gonna go on the outside, and I don't know if you can see in there. That little sprocket is what's going to go to the big sprocket on the axle. So I don't know if that makes sense, but hopefully it'll make more sense as I start putting it together. All right, so I got the whole back area assembled. I didn't fully tighten down that bolt right there yet, but I'm gonna do that when it's bolted up to the engine. So now what I need to do is simply bolt the backing plate up to the engine, and then we can, just go from there. Okay, so unfortunately, this is actually not gonna work right now because these damn people, they send you the wrong type of bolts. So as you can see, it's kind of hard to do with one hand, but you put it in, just goes in a couple of spins, and then it starts cross-threading. So yeah. Now I gotta run to the store and get some bolts. So I'm not gonna be able to do that right now because it's a little too late. So we're gonna have to put this on hold and continue doing it tomorrow. So today's now Friday, and I'm picking up where I left off yesterday. So like I said yesterday, I realized that I needed some bolts and the hardware store was closed. So today, went out and got the bolts, and now it's time to get back to work here. Okay, so I got the bolts all put in place, and the torque converter's on backwards because it was contacting this edge too much, meaning that I had to grind, or I attempted to grind off this edge a little bit, but you know, I just don't have the tools to do that. So we're just gonna be rotating the torque converter 180 degrees, and should be fine. The torque converter may not line up perfectly right out of the box. I was able to make it work with the washers and the other spacers provided. If you have no knowledge in mechanics, then installing this will be difficult. Okay, so we have a little bit of an issue here. So I'm gonna first say that this backwards torque converter thing is just simply not gonna work. I did get it assembled, but if you can see in there, that sprocket, when I put the chain on, you can see that it is definitely going to be contacting these fins right here. So, I could grind all those off, but that would literally be even more work than just grinding this end. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rent an angle grinder, and I'm going to grind off that edge so I can put the torque converter on the regular way. But I'm not going to be able to do that tonight because, once again, it's a little too late. So we're going to go on to day 3. Okay, so here we are, over a week later. Okay, so anyways, I think I finally came up with a solution. What I've done is I've taken the oil cap. You can see basically that. Basically cut the top off. Because, and the reason I've done that is because after this whole thing was grinded, it was still contacting the end of the oil cap. You can see even with this bit on, it still protrudes out a little ways. So what I have done is I've cut it off, and I've used some of this Teflon tape, or whatever you call it, and I've put it around the threads, you can see, and then I threaded it in there, and it's nice and snug. That shouldn't go anywhere. I started up the engine and revved it up a little. I don't see any problems with it, so now we can finally put the torque converter on, and hopefully today we will finally be able to go for a test ride. So all 4 bolts line up perfectly. So yeah, I'm gonna tighten the engine bolts, and then afterward, I'm gonna actually put the torque converter together. I also had to loosen the sprocket hub so that I can line it up with the sprocket on the torque converter. Now I need to cut the chain to length. I have the chain sitting here, roughly the length I want it. So I just need to cut it so I can attach it. Here's the chain. I just cut it over there. So now I'm gonna see if it works. Moment of truth here. Sweet. Yep, that's gonna work. I just need to grab my master link and my offset link, and this will work perfectly. Here are the chain links. Let's put this chain on. Okay, so I got the chain on. This thing is 100% ready to go. The chain is a little bit sloppy, but it'll be tight enough to ride. So yeah, let's do it. Okay, so today's the day. We are gonna test ride this thing. As you can see, it's a really nice day out. It's a perfect day to test drive this bad boy. But before we commit to going full throttle down the road, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lift the back end of the go-kart up with a jack so we can give the torque converter a little bit of a test real quick. And if all goes well, we're gonna go for the first test drive. I'm gonna die today. I'm literally gonna die today. It's the end of Zach FTW. All right, so let's fire this thing up. This thing has got some freaking takeoff now. Woo! This thing, like, it can do burnouts now. Like, wow, I did not think it was gonna be like that. Like, I thought it would be like, oh, like, that's cool. It's like a little bit better than a clutch, but like, Jesus. Oh, I was not expecting it to be like that. Oh, man. Oh, this thing has ridiculous takeoff now. Oh, oh my God. Well, I just did the torque converter swap on the Predator Go-Kart 2.0. And what are my thoughts about it? Well, it's fast. Oh my God. It's like a whole different go-kart. I have yet to test the top speed, but I could tell you this, the acceleration difference is night and day. And before I go, I would like to give a quick shout out to my buddy Tom, who helped me with this swap. I didn't mention this before. My original plan was to rent an angle grinder, like I said, but instead what ended up happening was my house was getting redone, and it turns out the guy who was redoing our house also had a lot of metalworking tools, and he was kind enough to let me borrow, well, shall I say, he was kind enough to help me out with grinding out that corner. So if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be sitting here today. So a big shout out to you, Tom. I'm not gonna say his last name, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. I'll tell you what I think. If you guys have an old go-kart and you want it to go fast, don't bother buying a cheap centrifugal clutch. Just get a torque converter. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I appreciate you guys watching. Tell your friends, tell your family, let everybody know about me. Zach FTW. Stay awesome.